So today I am paint matching my mirrors. I already removed the mirrors. What you do for this one is you want to push the top back all the way, and then with both hands push up, and then you'll hear a click, and then you'll want to pull from like what I did was top left corner and the bottom right corner, and pull lightly, and then it'll detach, and then you'll just detach the this is for the defroster, and I believe this is for the switchback. For the bottom, what you want to do is you want to push the bottom all the way in, and then kind of use like both hands. I put the video I saw explained you could use like your thumb or like your palm to press in and then kind of pry back a little bit. Be very light. I broke like one or two of the clips that actually are like hook onto here on mine. So just be light when you do it. Kind of wiggle with it. So yeah, that's how you get rid of take the mirrors off. Now that you have taken the mirrors off, you want to sand the entirety of the mirror, just so that you get you know, like chips and stuff like that. You can see on mine. You want the paint to look as flush as possible, so there's really no imperfections. So I'm starting with a 60 grit, and then I'm going to move down to a 320, and then this is 1,000. Listen, I'm not a painter. I'm sure there's other guys that are on here that will be like, you know, that's no good. But you can see on mine, I already did this side. Came out decent. Like, you can still see some of this. I mean, that might be due to like my lack of knowledge of sanding and like paint prep, but I mean, overall it's coming out pretty decent. I will be throwing the clear coat on this in a couple minutes, so I'll go through that. When you're sanding, you really want to be meticulous and get every nook and cranny. I took the mirrors off so that I can get through here, so you won't see any black when it's all done. So I'm done sanding, and now what I want to do is I'm just going to take a damp rag, microfiber, and just wipe off all of the crap from the sanding. You don't want it too wet, because you don't want to make your mirror necessarily wet. You just want it wet enough to pick up all that crap from the sanding. After you wipe it down, now we're going to start taping. The first thing I'm going to start taping is in here and this light. I'm just going to get around these edges and cover all of this up. You do want paint within here, so that once you put the mirrors back on, you won't see any black parts around. So now I have this taped up. You just want to cover pretty much all of the inside. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want any black kind of exposed around the perimeter. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a small piece of tape, kind of just jam it up in there. Make sure you get around the edge well, and then what I'm gonna do is take a little knife and just cut right around this whole side, so that you get like good paint coverage, or I'm sorry, good tape coverage. So I got it in the tape. What you really want to make sure you got a nice sharp blade, because you can see like around up here there's a tiny bit of that actual light, like lens showing. I mean, I'm really not gonna lose sleep over it, but the paint will cover that. So I'm actually gonna touch that up, and it's simply because the blade kind of makes like starts dragging the material rather than cutting it, and so I'm gonna touch that up, and then we'll get into painting around the truck. So now you're gonna get into covering every single part that you don't want painted. On this side, covered really the hood and kind of to the back part of my rear door. It's because I really don't want flying paint going everywhere. Yeah. Now we got everything covered up. Nothing showing that we don't want painted in the general vicinity. I mean, my paint job's not perfect, or my tape job isn't perfect. I'm sure with other guys it would have taken less, but I'm actually gonna fix that. But I mean, I'm not a painter, so I'm just trying to be as meticulous as possible with all of the edges. If there's space, then try and get your tape under there. That way everything is covered. But you also don't want any black under the tape, because then that black won't get the paint. So just be mindful of that. But now we're about ready to start painting. All right, so now when you're painting, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get about 6 inches away per the can. I believe the can says, I don't know, the can doesn't say, I've just watched videos saying about 4 to 6 inches away for a good application. You don't want it to go too slow, you don't want to go too fast. You want a good decent application at first. So this is my attempt. I'm just gonna go over it. It is better to go necessarily faster, because if you go too slow, then you could start running, and that's really the main thing that you're trying to avoid when applying paint. So I'm gonna go over this with my first coat, and I'll get back to you. This is my first coat. As you can see, there's still, like, you can still see the black poking through. There's even, well, probably should have got that, but for the most part, it's a general coating. You really don't want to get too heavy-handed on it. It's just to get that coat and let the paint soak in, and then we'll give it some time, about 10 minutes to really soak in, and then we'll get another layer on top of that. So I got the 3 coats down on the paint. What I'm going to start doing now is the clear coat. Again, just make sure you get every nook and cranny. You really want to make sure that paint covers so that you don't have anything that gets exposed. So yeah, just about 3 coats worth of the clear coat, and then you're good to go. So this is the final product of 3 coats of paint, as well as 3 coats of clear coat. I did also install new switchback markers by Morimoto. But this is the final product. It's not perfect. I mean, it looks pretty good. There's down here some nicks and scrapes and stuff that show through the paint, but overall I think it came out pretty good, especially with the new switchbacks looking all clear. I think it looks pretty good. I am going to wait to slide them back in For right now, they are telescoped just because I want to let the paint that is in between, I want this to set. So let that dry for, I'm currently not really using the truck, so I'm just gonna let that sit for however long until I'm back. But yeah, so this is the final product. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's kind of just a step-by-step of what I did. Anybody is capable of really doing this job. It's not hard as long as you're just detail-oriented. Should come out looking pretty good. So thanks for watching.